your own talented agents. Today is Emily Holmes, so we will cruise through the beginning to have as much time with Emily as possible. I forgot I said I was going to flip-flop it and like start with the main product at the beginning and then do the like random slides of updates at the end. I won't do it to people this week because I didn't warn everyone. But I think we got to mix it up so our agents know that they don't just pop in at 1:45. 150 when the time is right. All right, love, let's dive into the slide show. We have, first of all, holy heck, it's June. So there will be stuff coming out with mid-year review, mid-year check-in, mid-year reset, mid-year whatever you need to call it based on your business. But for today, let's go through the events on the screen and get excited. We have every Monday, Mark Miller doing compliance. Every Tuesday, Broker Bob doing amazing tech updates and all kinds of trainings to make your life better. This Friday, May 29th, moi, birthday, is a happy hour at Gravity Heights. I will not be there, but people will be there celebrating and having fun and getting to say hello with each other. Random timing. It's not a birthday party for me. And then next week, well, let me finish with tomorrow. So this week started Breakthrough 120. You might have seen it called Summer Surge also. That's my wording around Breakthrough 120, which is a brand new course from Keller Williams. So yesterday was day one. It's only 5 days to start. Each of the 5 days is 3 hours, and you're going to be okay. It goes very fast. We take breaks. But if you didn't attend, I've gotten a few questions like, I didn't attend yesterday. Can I still come? Yes. Click on the Google form and fill it out. If you're going to miss one day, I am recording it. So don't pretend you're going to go watch 15 hours in your spare time. But if you have to miss a little bit of something because it is the first time teaching it, because it is a great solid group of humans, we're live on Zoom together, I would highly encourage you still to fill out the Google form and come attend if you can. Tomorrow is day two. And then as you see on the schedule on the screen, next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, June 1, June 3, June 5, are days 3, 4, and 5. Each day is its own content. Yesterday was database. We have lead generation, appointments, social media. It's completely different, totally new material, and really very cool, actually. Don't let me speak for it. You can talk to the people in the room who are doing it. And the coolest thing about it is once you go through these 5 days with me in the group, then we're going to go into a whole summer of lead generation and strategy and actually doing the work. So don't miss out on these 5 days if you can squeeze it in. It is for everyone, unless you are writing 9 contracts or more over 4 months of your business year. It's for you. So if you're writing more than 9 in 4 months, you've already learned it. If you're not doing that, get your butt in the room. And then next Wednesday is also a Zoom team meeting. Stay tuned for the exciting content of that one. And then June 10th, the following Wednesday, we have a noon kickoff to Summer Potluck, along with Lunch and Learn from Movement Mortgage and Market Stats with Ashley. Phew. And then it'll be June 10th already. Holy heck. Middle of June is coming up quick. So weird. All right, let's keep going. If you have any questions about any of that with Breakthrough, please feel free to reach out to me separately as well. The TCPA compliance and the data disclaimer just say everything I'm telling you today might be a lie, might be true, you don't know, but also don't call people on the do not call list without permission. And really don't use a robodialer. That's like a multi-caller. That's one of the safest ways to get around that. Does anyone have a property to pitch that is burning a hole in their pocket to get started? Or we can keep going. Listings taken, buyer needs, listings to talk about as we cruise through. Okay, if something comes to mind as we're going, raise your hand. If not, then throw it in the chat as it pops up for you. I'm going to start with gratitude for our guest speaker today, Emily Holmes. If anyone else has gratitude to share, get in line. But I asked Emily last month on a coaching call, hey, will you do a meeting? This is really important to talk about for everyone to hear from your perspective. And she agreed in a flash. She was like, send me some dates. Let's make it happen. She was so easy to get on, and she really is excited to share with you guys. So My gratitude to her will pour into gratitude to y'all, and it's a beautiful circle of happiness. So thank you, Emily, for coming from contribution there. Anybody else have something they're burning to share?
I just want to say thank you to Stephanie Grinnan. I don't know if she's on here. I don't think she is, but she has helped me out multiple times at one of my escrows this month and a couple times last minute. She even made me like I was supposed to have protein for my doctor's appointment and I was running late. And so she even made me a snack unexpectedly while I handed her my drill so she could go do my task and I could go to my doctor's appointment. So she's just great. Love her. Thanks, Stephanie.
Yay. Love that. Anybody else? Joy to spread amongst the nation? Okay, well, you're thinking of good things that happened to you. We'll keep going. If you want to write it in the chat, please feel free to do
Yeah.
so.
s-
Who's talking? Go ahead, Karine.
Yeah. It's me,
Wendy?
Sarah. Yes.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I want to.
Oh, somebody muted her. Unmute.
My listing that have been sitting in the market for almost 3 months. Yeah. And 2 days before the listing expire, I get two offers. So, and Alicia really go behind and about to help me, even in the holidays, to work with me and too. So I want to say thank you to Alicia, and thank you to Christine as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. Listen,
Yeah.
Murphy's Law comes
Yeah.
into effect all the time. 2 days to go, and the listing gets the offers. Love that story. Speaking of Alicia, go ahead with our
Speaking of
spotlights.
Wendy,
Yeah.
yeah, so Wendy got two offers over the weekend and was able to open escrow on her own listing. Yeah, a little shout out to Christine with that. Christine actually opened escrow on Monday, which is holiday. And then also, Midyear opened another escrow with a buyer. So congrats to him. Business is picking up, guys.
Gotta be in it to win it. I said to the group yesterday, it's happening all around you. You just might not see it. And if you're not seeing it, it's not seeing you either. So get out there and get in it. Jacqueline, are you going to do escrow spotlights?
You know it. We are very excited for the Solis team. They had a closing, so congratulations on their escrow that closed. And congratulations to Amy Bloom. I know I'm on my sound is odd because I'm on my headphones. Congratulations to Amy Bloom. She just closed escrow. And there's Wendy. You knew it would come back. Christine wanted to spotlight Wendy as well. Congratulations on your escrow. And she also wanted to shout out both Vinny and Kelly because they also had escrows opening. So I agree with Alicia. Things are happening. We're here to help you when you're ready to open escrow. Oh, and this is the video you get this week. It'll post on the internal Facebook page. It stays on market. I did pull this from InfoSparks. If that changes your opinion of the data, just so you know. But that is what it's from. It's a 15-second video. Feel free to add your info and add it on social media to start a conversation. Enjoy.
87% of the statistics people share are right 48% of the time. So it doesn't matter where it comes from, right? I'm just making that up. To prove the point, knowledge is power. Share the information and talk about real estate so that real estate comes to you from the universe. Who is here? Eddie. I think I saw Eddie. Go
I'm
ahead,
right
Luma
here.
Mortgage. There you
Yeah, I didn't
are.
realize my mic was unmuted. Sorry, guys. Good thing I haven't been talking too much. So wanted to let you guys know that things have shifted in our market, in our world, more and more, and I keep hearing this around our entire industry. A lot of loan officers have gotten into what's called non-qualified mortgages. And for those of you who don't know what that is, mostly you hear conventional loans, right? Conforming loans, high balance loans, FHA, VA, even some USDA, right? We get into the jumbo territory, those are expensive homes. But then you have non-qualified loans. And those are really for people that they don't fit into that particular little conventional box, right? They're self-employed borrowers that write everything off and show losses every year, but yet they still live in a multi-million dollar house. How do they do that, right? Well, they're accountants, but there's also really specific loans designed just for those types of people. There are bank statement loans. You guys, we can go off of 12 months of personal bank statements. We can go off 12 months of business bank statements. We average out all of your deposits that are going into those accounts, not transfers, but deposits, and we get your income. It's amazing what can happen. This is something that even real estate agents should be thinking about. And you don't have, those deposits that are coming in every month as a real estate agent all the time, but they are coming throughout the year. And we're able to use those averages to qualify you. There's DSCR loans, you guys, for investors. They can put 30% down as long as the mortgage is covering the rents. It is going to, we can get that loan done. It doesn't matter about the person's income. They just need decent credit and money down. And if the rents are covering the mortgage, we got them a loan. There's asset depletion loans, and this is something that had to dive into a little bit this week, and learn a little bit more about them. But not everybody will accept inherited funds for asset depletion. You have a gentleman whose mom passed away, gave him 2 million, left him $2 million, and he's a teacher and he works part-time, makes $4,000 a month. He doesn't exactly qualify for a home in San Diego. But by taking those assets and depleting them over a 5-year period of time, we're able to use that as an income to help him qualify for a loan. There's all sorts of really tricky loans out there. Most banks do not ever touch these loans. We have dozens of partners, other institutions that work directly with us, and we do these loans in-house for them. So if you guys get stuck, give me your hard stuff. You guys need a second set of eyes on something, by all means. I'll have a conversation with anybody. I love trying to figure out these tricky ones. We just did a castle in Massachusetts with an ADU that it took us 3 weeks. It was a rescue deal. Rocket Mortgage couldn't do it. We got it done. I mean, we get all these little weird nuances to the loans, but we figure it out. So yeah, an ADU with a castle. It was crazy. I'll give you the address later. So you guys, I love working with you guys. I love figuring out these complicated ones. So hit me up next time you guys have something out of the ordinary. Love to be able to help.
Thank you, Eddie. I will give a pitch for reaching out to Eddie and Matt and asking the questions also, because you as an agent might not be aware of all the current grants and extra money available from the state in the moment. So, example, like I'm helping my mother-in-law buy a house right now. She's getting grant money. You have to have a lender who understands what's possible. And people wouldn't even think that like a grandma could get grant money from the state because like she's not a teacher or a fireman, right? So make sure you're working to help every person who has a potential need, or make sure you're forecasting that maybe they should be thinking about securing a place where their rent isn't going to get taken from them, sold out from under them, etc. That's how my mother-in-law's story came to be. I was like, girl, you got to buy a house. Someone's going to sell that thing, and I'm not moving you when you're 90 years old. So ask the questions, reach out to the people who are as smart or smarter than you, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's how you put deals together. Be a connector, be a resource, help people get where they want to be. Thanks for that, Eddie. That's really helpful. And listen, I want to know where the castle is with the ADU. Like, think outside the box. That's a fun story to share with your people. Phoebe, tell us what's good in the world of brokering.
Well, I just want to make a pitch for Metro AI, which we're now calling Ellie. So Ellie's your personal assistant. We have hired everybody in this office a personal assistant, and her name is Ellie, unfortunately. So if you want to name her something else, sorry, it's Ellie. But workflows, let's talk workflows. If you've been coming to the class, I've created these things called a workflow to take stuff off your plate, give you your time back. The two I want to talk about this week is the Metro AI CMA. If you type in those keywords into BrokerBot or Ellie, and you either put the property address or you upload the tax recorder document, you will get a really good CMA because I've already crafted the terms you needed to put in the CMA. You can not only do it just for a listing, but you can do it for a buy side. If you're attempting to write an offer for a buyer and the buyer might want to come in below list, you should be doing a CMA, but it also will give you some really great talking points if it needs to be priced lower, and you can present that in your offer to the seller in a buyer letter that we learned, or yeah, in a buyer letter that we learned today at Kareen's class that was taught here in the office from Mike Zincola, who did a really great class on negotiation. The other one is the social media 8 week. If you want to have your social media planned out for 2 months, you type in that keyword. It will go through some questions for you because it needs to know who you are and who you want to target market. Let's say you want to focus in on a geographic area like 92108. It will go out and do the heavy lifting for you and create really great social media as well as templates for deliverables to post with your social media. You don't have to create them. You won't even need Canva integration to do that. It'll make the nice slide for you as long as you have all the information in there. So that's my pitch for this week. Next Tuesday, we're going to cover a really great topic, Tuesday at 11 on Zoom. Back to you.
I'm going to pause that for a second because what I've learned is people say, like, I didn't know we had that, or I didn't know we could do that, or do you know how we could do this? Make sure you understood. And I know there's not a lot of heads on this screen live right now. And I know some people say that they come back and watch the recording. Having your customized 8 week social media plan done for you is something that would cost you money out in the world. Having a reliable CMA, meaning it's hitting all the bells and whistles and important bullet points you should be hitting as an agent, done for you automatically. It's a word Jason Abrams made up a long time ago. That is not something we give so much value. And I know this is going to sound a little soapboxy. I'm honestly okay with it. We bring so much value to the table that it kind of can just be like, oh, yeah, there's more stuff coming. Isn't that great? Blah, blah, blah. Pause and ask yourself, how does this help my business? And then implement versus just learning about lots of cool things that happen. Take action and implement with these pieces. If you're not sure where you should be doing social media, go talk to the form and let it answer questions for you. If you don't have a listing you're going on, go do some practice listings in the CMA of the LEAI. Like, that was a lot of letters. Use the tools or they're worthless. And then I have agents like, I think I might go buy this other add-on thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's built in for you. Please go use it. So I won't shake anyone or yell anymore with my mom voice, but understand the tools are here for you and you got to participate with them to make them valuable. Kareen.
Thank you. So I just, sorry for the echo. Robert, thank you for bringing up Mike's class. If you were unfortunately not able to make it, we did record it, so it should be uploaded, I believe, to the YouTube channel shortly. It was really great, so be sure to watch it. Yep. Thanks.
I'm glad he was able to record it for anyone who was not able to attend. And I won't go through the whole thing I just said a second ago about not participating with the things that are here to help you be better. I will let Emily Holmes do the talking about how to participate and make your business better because she has done an amazing job of changing her business around. Ari, will you? Thank you. Pin her. Look at that. Like automatically it happened again. So good. Okay, let me pull my questions to the front because I know there's some important stuff y'all want to hear, and I want to make sure we hit all of them. Emily Holmes, thank you for agreeing to be a guinea pig today and talk about whatever we want to talk about. Just kidding.
Of course.
So I want to give everyone a little snippet of the background, and it was we were coaching together last month, and Emily said to me, I just capped in 12 months. Her reset is May 1st, right?
Yep, May 1st.
And she was just capping in April for the year. So capping and then going to immediately reset to May 1st. And then she said, but get this, my closings are all coming together and I'm going to cap in 4 days in the beginning of May.
Yeah.
Emily.
I capped, well, it's technically 8 days. It was 5 deals.
Gosh. Forget
5
it.
and
Cancel the
change.
interview.
But yes, I capped on May 8th and my reset date is May 1st. And so it's the greatest. That's going to be a tough one to beat every year. I try to beat it every year. Clearly, I didn't try very hard last year. But Yeah, May 8th, baby. That's going to be my new goal. And that fifth one didn't even have like a full cap come out of it. So it was great. So yes, very good
Okay.
start to this year.
So capping in 12 months to capping in 8 days, not 4. It's so much longer.
So
So disturbed by this detail.
there was a weekend in there, so you know.
Clearly something changed from 2025 to 2026 or from 2024 to 2025. Tell us, what do you think changed from the year before to this year?
My mindset for sure. I think the last 2 years I've been struggling just with a lot in real estate. I think it's been 2, maybe even 3 of the roughest years. For people that don't know, I had a small team that I kind of, I guess, dismantled, we'll call it, in I think the end of 2023 is when that all kind of we let the buyer's agents go. And now I have an even smaller team, which is beautiful. It's the showing assistant model. So I still have Danica Vasquez as my director of operations behind the scenes. And then we use a separate TC. Her name's Dawn Kelly. And then I use a showing assistant now. I did not use that until I was on maternity leave, but it was the greatest decision ever. So for me, it was like rough year, rough year, rough year. And I was just sick of having rough years. And with now, my son just turned 2 at the end of March. Something had to give. Like, I was like, we're never gonna, I love my condo. And at the same time, we have a 120-pound dog. So walking him 4 times a day, which is what we signed ourselves up for back when we didn't have a kid, and want to keep going because he deserves it. And we have flexible schedules. It's a lot with a kid and a dog. You're walking, you have to like physically leave I know that's like first world problems, but I own a backyard. So just having that house and bigger goals, because we really don't want to move. We want to stay at the beach. We live in Ocean Beach now. So, and we can walk to the water. And so we'd love to stay there. So the vision got bigger. The mindset got better. I was like afraid to look at my bank account, like, because there was no money in it. I was like, who am I borrowing? Like, for which account am I borrowing from to pay the bills out of the other one? And it just got like, it was debilitating. It's crushing. So yeah, I know you're going to ask like if it was a rock bottom or just no, it was rock bottom. Like that's it. So it's solely mindset that changed. It was like, there was nowhere to go but up. Has anybody seen the Sing movie? Because it's my kid's favorite movie. And so like I had my like Buster Moon moment and was like, there's only way to go up from here, you know? I'm like, this koala is so positive, but that's literally how it was. I was like, I was in like, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt, guys. Like a lot. So we won't go into how like I worked that out. It was all legal. But we don't need to get into that. You can text me if you want to know my personal finances like that. But yeah, it was definitely just the mindset had to shift.
Okay. You can, and I see the comments in the chat. And if you guys have questions you want asked, feel free to type them in the chat and we'll get to them if they're not asked during the journey here. And it's easy to say my mindset changed. And I know you talked about like, is that a rock bottom feeling? And I love the Buster Moon reference, honestly. For anyone who knows Sing, it's helpful to think like, well, only way to go is up. But I want to give a little context to that because you are super real. And I know that people will hear like, well, just change your mindset and everything will get better. And I know that's not what you're saying. What do you think helped you actually make the change? Or what would you describe changed in your mindset?
I think for me, sorry if this is like against Keller Williams everything, but like I never really got the big why. Like I think it's probably necessary, but like I guess mine wasn't big enough for a while, or it just wasn't. I was like, I want to travel, I want to have a kid, I want to whatever, and it just like never. Ashley was saying we never tied it back to the business, and so literally, and I don't have a vision board, but I want to, but it's just not my thing. But I see this house. There's a house I drive by a lot on Narragansett up on the hill. So I was like able to put something to that. Right. And it cost $2.3 million like a few years ago when it changed hands. And it's like, okay, if that costs that, then what's it going to cost that? And my financial thermostat of like, well, I'm not going to ever, I shouldn't say I'm not going to ever. Right now, I can't even picture having a 80% of 3 million, 80% of 2 million mortgage. But if we want to stay in Ocean Beach, and you want a single family home with a yard, you're going to spend 1.5 on a gut job fixer. Like it's going to be a shithole, right? That I'm going to have to gut and do everything to. So we're going to spend 2 to 3. And so just saying like, I want to get this done quicker. So being able to tie those 51 units, and you guys have heard this before. I don't know what clicked. I'm really not sure. So if somebody knows, like Ashley, speak up, Sarah, speak up. But because we put me on blast in a meeting 2 years ago that my goals were 51 units, right? And what did I sell? 9? Like, so it didn't click in 2025. So I don't know if it was just like an extra year of crippling debt that I was sick of, or
I think that's it. And that's where a lot of us, you repeated a pattern and you just got sick of the pattern.
Yeah.
And I think on some level had enough experience under your belt to realize you're creating your reality, whether it's a reality you're loving or one that you're really hating.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. All 8 years have been all me. Like there's nothing, I'm not like a victim mentality person. It's not even really like I did sell my other business in January. And so I have more time freed up. But like that was just more, like when people are like, oh, that's why, I'm like, no, that would have been an excuse. Like Danica helped me with both businesses. That one, it wasn't passive, like it was opened to be. But it, like I just, yeah, I think I was sick of being broke.
Yeah.
And yeah, something clicked.
The Tipping Point is an excellent book. If people haven't read it, it really speaks to moments like this. It speaks to in all kinds of scenarios, but there's a tipping point in everything. And it's some, we need the hindsight is 2020 to figure it out. I agree with Ashley. I think you just get to a point where you're like, my goals are bigger, my kid's getting older, like it's time to get real and get right. I'm not trying to quote books the whole time, but that is part of the shift. So like you got real, got right. And when I asked you about it a little bit in our pre-conversation, you said, well, what's the one biggest thing that has changed for you? You changed your mindset, but then what has been the thing that helped you get to the point where you had all your closings lined up and you've had this great start to 2026?
Oh, 2 appointments a week. Period, full stop. That's all I think about. That's all I get like annoyed if I don't get 2 appointments a week. Sometimes it takes me 15 calls, sometimes it takes me 150. And I did get a MAPS coach, and she won't take the credit, but I think it has a lot to do with that. Now, if you can't shell out $1,000 a month right now, I totally get that. But that was for me for sure a catalyst. And I would have done that ages ago had I known the level of coaching that you can get in a MAPS coach that has as much wealth building knowledge as I was looking for in and around and outside of real estate entirely. I mean, she's brilliant. So MAPS coach helped, but for me, it's 2 appointments a week. That's it. Because if I go on 2 appointments a week and I work, let's say, I think we have it clocked out at 42 weeks a year. So we're talking about taking 10 weeks off in this goal setting, right? To make $1 million, totally doable. I will hit based on my conversion rate, I will hit 51 units for the year.
And how do you get the 2 appointments a week? What are the activities that drive that result?
Yeah, so for me, I am sphere of influence based. I am 99% past client, sphere of influence, referrals, family friend referrals. I actually went through the year so far, the 9 deals I've closed, and like they're coming from, 2 of them have come from like the most random, beautiful place of like one of my close friends that I lived with in Portugal 2006 and 2007 lives in San Diego. She had used to live in San Diego before I even met her in Portugal. So we stay in touch. She's like my concert buddy. She has like a women's walking group where they just have a WhatsApp group that says, hey, who wants to walk today on your lunch break or whatever, whenever. And somebody at one point in there goes, does anybody know a realtor? And she's like, I don't know who I just referred you to, but I don't know, I hope they're cool. And I was like, cool. And they interviewed me and 3 other people, and I got the job. And as soon as those people closed, they're like, we have friends looking. They want to look in the same area. Here they are. And then I got that. I interviewed, again, me plus 3 for that job and got that one too. So you never know where things are going to come from. Like right now, I just took on an unpaid intern from SDSU that Luis met, who's going to get her real estate license. And so I've been training her a bit, and then she's going to help me with social media, which will be my other pillar. And, she's going to come out of college at 22, which like, to me, that seems like awesome. I would be retired by now from real estate, hands down, because I'm 42. And at the same time, it's like, where's she going to get business? Well, that brings me to my other, like her friends aren't going to buy, right? But her friends' parents will. And her friends, she's from Boston. So anybody back there that trusts her, she's a finance major. She's got a good head on her shoulders. So she can go that route with her SOI. I had a massive network when I came in. I want to be fully transparent. I had a massive network when I came into real estate. Everyone trusted me because my background was corporate finance. So like, they're like, well, she can do that. She can probably sell a house, right? And then I was 33. And back then, when I got into real estate, the average age of a first-time home buyer was 33. So, and then instead of doing what Keller Williams tells you to do, I went and hosted open houses, 2 to 3 a week for the first 2 years. And then I finally checked my numbers, and 89% of my business was past client or friend referral, SOI. And I immediately stopped doing open houses. So I don't do open houses anymore, but I'm SOI, to answer Ashley's question, all Sphere, all database. And this year, finally, like Haley, the student, is going to help me with my social media because she lives in it, right? And we're following like the Rachel Adams Lee webinars, stand store, things like that. We've got our buyer guide ready. So, when you go to someone's comment section, they're like, comment guide for whatever, comment buyer, and then it's automatically spits them a guide, right? And then you get their contact info. We're going that route this year because I need to be working smarter, not harder. So 2 appointments a week is great. And sometimes it's a grind to get them. So for me, it's SOI, social media, and my third pillar, based on having gone to family reunion, and what I think I will stick with is a YouTube channel.
Let's unpack that a little bit because that was a ton of information, which is awesome for people to hear. But I think for people who aren't through the evolution that you've been or haven't been expanding their mindset around what they're doing, like you said, hired an unpaid intern. You said a lot of stuff in there. So I want to pull it back. When you say 2 appointments a month, I mean, a week, 2 appointments a week. And you said sometimes it's, 15 calls, sometimes it's 150 calls. What does that look like? Who are you calling? What's the method to your madness there? And is there like a specific time frame you follow for your lead gen?
Yeah. So right now it's 10 to 1. Just because I jump on. Sometimes I do start at 9. I'll do 9 to noon, but I jump on. I have an accountability buddy now. Me and Gaga are on Zoom from 10 to 12 every day, Monday through Friday. I'm here at my office because we have full-time, well, this week it's closed, but we have full-time daycare or full-time preschool for our son. And so we are on Zoom, on silent. We say like, hello, talk for like 2 minutes, and then we get going. She's on the phone a lot. Mine are sometimes text messages, though I will say after Erica's interview, I do agree you get deeper on phone calls. And so I might actually scale back on the actual texting. And again, texting is a 2-way real estate conversation. Not like I text them now, they text me in 4 hours, I text them back, they text me the next day. Like I'm talking 2-way real estate conversations. So how is that happening? For a while, because I wasn't consistent about it, I would do the last name A's, right? And then I would be like, oh, wait, I'm back to it again, last year. And it's like a month later, and then I'm doing the A's again. Cause I'm like, well, I gotta just finish out the A's and then get to the B. No, that's stupid. So I'm doing DTD2. And so this week is N and R, and I do last names. So N and R, last names. We're cleaning up my database as we go. because I had some apparently shitty help that I hired, and I'm still finding like family members' birthdays when like one of my family members was who I hired, and I'm like, how does this person not have a birthday? You literally have a list of their birth, they're your cousin, right? So I'm like a little disappointed in how much money I dropped, 25 bucks an hour to pay someone to help with my database. So now it's me. I'm not messing around anymore. Danica's done everything she can possibly do in there. So it's me in the database, getting those up to 100%. And that's like sometimes my opening. Like, hey, I'm updating my database. The other way is the five text thing that Sara and I have gone over, which is like, it's so easy. I'll send it to people out of the blue. I don't give a shit. Like if I'm not talking to them, I like, let's open a conversation, right? So if it's not a care call or not like I don't know, it just depends on the relationship, right? In the DTD2 who I'm calling, but the 5-question text is everyone's going to do one of these things over the next 12 months. Which one are you? And it's buy, sell, invest, rent, or stay. Like do nothing. And then I put like a bunch of hearts at the end and make it like my own little, and I put like, I don't know, I put like one little sentence under that to make it a little more personable. And through that, I've gotten many different things that are a little further in the pipeline this year, but many different nurtures, I would say, or leads for later.
So I want to button on that for a second. When I remember a very specific conversation with you in the fourth quarter last year, and this was probably around your rock bottom feeling. And it was in one of our coaching calls, and you were like, I have to do something different. What's it going to be? And I said, there's a text message you can send to everyone that most people don't do. But if you want to just take an action that's mindless and that it applies to everyone, just start sending it. And you guys, I've told anyone who coaches with me at some point about this text message. And then Emily pulled up a yellow pad. This doesn't do it justice. Here's one. A little bigger. And on our next call, she was like, hey, that thing you told me to do. And she holds up the yellow pad and it's full. I won't show you because mine full is agent notes, but it's full of all little scribbly notes. And I was like,
Yeah.
what is that? And she's like,
And
it's
some
all
of them,
the feedback I've gotten.
Yep. And some of them were some of the closings already, right? Because I found out about it that way. Yeah, I think I got 15 like nurtures or leads or people that I uncovered that were past clients and actually were thinking about a move sooner rather than later. Or even like people that needed property management and it's like, great. Or they needed a plumber. And I was like, great, here you go. I guess they don't open my preferred vendor list email, whatever, right? I don't care as long as they're talking to me. And so, yeah, that text is so easy and mindless and just put your little spin on it. Put an extra sentence or two. And like, I put a greeting in the top, you know, like, hey, how are you? How's such and such? If they have a child, I'll ask for like how their kiddo is, or they have a dog and I remember the name, or I'll go to Facebook and ask how that is. If you want it to be more personable, check their social media before you send it, right? Have that be the top and then the 5 things be the bottom of the text. And it just that'll instantly get you into like real estate conversation mode, right? Instead of going the Ford method.
It's an immediate real estate conversation. And I love that you took the action in a moment of like, and what I want everyone to hear is like, that was a moment of, I'll use despair. Emily didn't use that word.
Desperation for sure. For sure. Desperation. Yes.
So like, go do this and see what happens. And if you just blindly walk through it and just guarantee yourself that you're going to do it, then the results will come because people can click stay. They can say, I'm going to stay put. I don't have anything going on, but it gives you an immediate real estate conversation. The other part of why I want everyone who's like, oh my gosh, capped in 8 days, I want to do that. This like initial moment of engagement, the question you should ask yourself is, do you know everyone in your database's real estate plans over the next 12 months? Because everyone in your database is going to do one of those 5 things. And so if you want to be a consultant and all these words we want to use, it's not salesperson, then can you tell me which one of those 5 boxes every one of your people will check? And the greatest way to get there is just ask them, right?
Yep.
So that was the beginning point. That drove your lead gen engine to start. You've gotten into DTD2. When you got with your MAPS coach and did the math, you realized I'm going to commit to 2 appointments a week, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah, we kind of did that math anyway, you know, earlier, probably 2 years ago. And so it was just more of like somebody was going to hold me to it, right? Which was great.
Yeah.
Like I clearly wasn't holding myself to it, closing 8, not whatever, 9 deals last year. And now, by the way, I've closed 9 this year already. And by the way, my year in my mind, because of when, 60 to 90 days, everything shows up. I'm not going to beat myself up if by the end of 2026, I haven't done 51 units. I'm going to in my mind, because I started the lead gen for that kind of like February, but let's call it January because I went to Australia for 2 weeks in there. My year is April 1st to March 31st of next year for the 51 units. That's how my coach and I are tracking it. So it's really not that tough. Like 2 appointments a week for me to get 4 to 5 closings a month is doable. You'll feel busy. I definitely got like to an unsustainable position it was in the thick of those 5 escrows because 4 were buyers, right? And tricky buyers. But that's where AI comes in. I was working harder, not smarter.
Do you separate lead gen and lead follow-up in your call time?
No. No, because if I didn't get a hold of them the day before, now it's a lead gen, even if it's follow-up, or if it's like something from 3 months ago and now it's time to follow up. Like I have people that are like, call me, and I have someone that I'm supposed to call on June 1st, right? So like, yes, that's follow-up, but like I'm trying to book the buyer consult.
What I want everyone to hear in this is when your goal is the appointments, and by the way, everyone's goal is the appointments. If you go to business planning and do the math and reverse engineer your units, it backs into appointments and conversations, right? So if your only goal is appointments, then all you're doing is having the conversations to get to the appointments marked. Have you had a time in your weeks where you got your appointments locked in like super early in the week, and then do you keep lead generating, or what does that look like?
Yes, many weeks, and no, I don't. My job is done for the week at that point, right? I have other stuff to do to catch up on, like then I'm cleaning up my database or whatever, right? But I'm just not I'm not gonna beat myself up because I work a little too hard in work and life as far as like I think the level of service I provide is pretty high for my clients, and mama needs a break sometimes. So
Well, and clarity is power. Like you can put your lead gen hat down and go about your business because you've checked the box of did my job this week, got my appointments, now I can go work on other things.
Yeah. And sometimes I stumble into 3 appointments. I'm not stopping at 2, right? There's been multiple weeks this year since, let's say, February 1st, where I've had 3.
What do you think agents need to hear about, what's the most important first thing to do if they're feeling like, gosh, I wish I had that, but I don't feel like I'm anywhere near that?
Yeah. So I've had to think about this a lot because of, this trainee, this unpaid intern that kind of Louise, like it fell in my lap, is like, what is she going to do if she decides to get her license and do this right after school? Right. So like, I can't imagine a tougher way. She's from Boston. So like her network here is solely college people, right? College kids. And I'm like, what's she going to do? So if it were me, I would start a YouTube channel immediately. I guess I would maybe try to close a few deals, but that YouTube content being evergreen, and if Vinny's on here, he's probably laughing like, you haven't even started yours, chick. So, we're supposed to keep ourselves accountable, and that's all me. But I did, get the list of equipment that we need because I thought I was ordering something different before. But anyway, I talked to my coach about that quite a lot. But I would start a YouTube channel because it's one long form video a week, if that's the minimum that you want to do, 8 to 12, 8 to 16 minutes, depending on who you talk to. And you're picking an avatar, right? Because if you speak to everyone, then you're speaking to no one. So if you want to be the North Park realtor, or for me, I'll likely be choosing like first time home sellers because I think I've finally feel better about that. Took me years to feel confident. Like Gaga is going through the same thing where she's like, she'll hate me for putting her on blast, but she feels the same way that I used to of like, I was like kind of nervous in those appointments for a while, like no matter how much I practice my listing presentation. And now I feel confident. I know what I'm doing with pricing. I I don't mess around. Like Ashley's saying, let your real personality come through. Am I performing right now?
No. I think she
Okay.
means on YouTube.
Yeah, when you're doing YouTube video,
Oh,
you can
yes.
perform on Instagram, you can perform on TikTok, on YouTube. You've got to be, everybody has to be the authentic selves.
Yeah.
That's what builds and retains the viewership.
Yeah, and I'm not really a good performer in that regard anyway, so I don't know that I even perform on Instagram or Facebook. Anyway, so with Rachel and Rachel Adams Lee is the webinar that I'm referencing, and I recently signed up and did a Claude workshop, just trying to streamline the business. So for me, what I would focus on as a new person, if you have an SOI all day, no questions asked, do what Keller Williams tells you, stop doing open houses immediately, and use those 4 to 6 hours per open house day that it takes you, repurpose that into lead gen, whether that's during the week or on the weekends. SOI. If you don't have a network, and by the way, I love purging people out of my database. Like it's like a game now for Danica and me. So she's like, okay, here's one of the ways that we do our SOI. We're just starting this, by the way. If you haven't seen the MREA podcast from Flor DeMaria McNally, you should read it. And you don't need to start with, lead with revenue, obviously. So if you're not closing deals, you can hold off on this till 6 months from now, right? But we are sending the birthday cards where we pull a photo of the person that they have personally posted on social media, which means they like it, right? And we put that on I think she's putting it on I don't know, the outside or the inside of the birthday card. She's working on our first batch right now. So she sends like everybody from the database that's got a June, July, August birthday that I just went through. And then everybody in red is like all the people that I don't even need in my orbit. And she just gets them out of the database, or I get them out of the database as I'm going through them, right? So purging, if you're like, oh, I don't have a 3,000 person database, I won't have a 3,000 person database within the next 2 months, right? I'm going to whittle that thing down. I think Amy Bloom has 750, right? Like, and does big business and solely SOI. So if you've got the SOI, please listen to Keller Williams. I wish I had listened from the start, right? I would have an even bigger business now. If I had no SOI, I would start a YouTube channel if I knew what I was talking about. And if I didn't know what I was talking about, I'd find someone who did know what they were talking about and kind of just like rip off their R&D, their content. Which all the YouTubers, by the way, at Keller Williams encourage you to do. That's not like a me statement. Find someone that you gravitate towards that knows what they're talking about, and don't choose someone in a different state, but make sure what you're saying like translates to California. That's fine if you choose someone in a different state. But pick your avatar. Don't talk to like all of San Diego County, every single buyer seller. Do first-time home buyers, do veterans, do whatever, right? But pick a topic and stick with it and do one long-form video a week. And make sure you're posting it at the right time. They're going to reward you there's so many different things. I could send you my notes, and I should just put them in a Google Drive and put them on the Facebook page after I have a meeting after this, but I'll try to put it up. And it's essentially like YouTube rewards you for when you post, how often you post, how long you post, if there's comments on your post, and if people watch the whole video. So you don't want to send your videos to like your parent as the first view, because no offense, but like your parents probably not going to watch the 8 to 12 minutes about San Diego real estate, whether they live here or not, right? My dad might. My mom, if she was still alive, never would have. She'd have been like, oh my God, it's great, honey, after 2 minutes. But she would have stopped watching, right? And commented and said it's great in a text to me. But if the person stops watching your video, you'll get kind of penalized. So there's a lot of like nuances behind the YouTube piece that I don't know everything about yet. So I took a ton of notes and I'm happy to share them.
Broker Bob wants you to upload your notes into Ellie and have it sorted. And yes, whatever version of your notes is shared, that would be great. What Emily said that I want everyone to hear that's most important there, though, is if you have an SOI, then that's where you start and you take the time to go through it. I also want to back up because I didn't get to dot it before. And I remember when you hired the person to go through your database and clean it up for you. So sometimes, like my uncle used to always say, the hard way is the easy way. You guys, this is like in real estate, it truly is the hard way is the easy way. And it's really not the hard way, talking to people you know. But your SOI, like to be reminded, everyone who's clicking on an online lead button through Zillow or Redfin or whatever place they're doing it in the portals is in someone's database. Okay, maybe not everyone, but like I would say at least 95% of them. So do yourself the favor and be in rapport with the person who's going to click the buttons. Like Emily's walking group WhatsApp connection turns into multiple connections. If you don't talk to people, you're never going to find the business. You said the birthday cards. People want to jump ahead to the birthday cards and don't want to do the work to talk to people to make sure they know their birthday. So I would say, like, you can go on Facebook and grab birthdays, but Emily just said one of her first calls will be like, hey, I'm updating my database and filling in information. Being
Yep.
transparent and speaking like a business owner will serve you long term.
Oh yeah.
Are there any other systems like the birthday cards or something that you think is fun and more simple that you've put into place that you think people should consider doing?
So on the money side, client photo events, big bang for your buck because they're coming to you, right? It's like a reverse bold. And if they don't come to you, who cares? They were just so stoked to be invited. Because families or even singles that are getting headshots, they're paying hundreds of dollars for that mini session, right? I pay my photographer, Danica will have to chime in. She can write it in the chat. I think I pay her $900 for an hour and a half usually. That usually we'll send it to 100 people, let's say maybe 75 people, 18 will come, if that, right? Then if they don't all come, $900 an hour. Okay, so $900 an hour. If they, because that includes the editing, she gives every family 3 or every person that comes 3 like professional shots after the fact. We get them back within 2 weeks, usually, honestly, within 2 days. What I did for additional lead gen when I didn't fill my list this most recent time is I opened it up to the families at my kids' daycare. So now I've got their contact information. They're so appreciative, right? Because they always want new family photos. The kids are growing so quickly. And so that is going to be my jam each time, right? Because now my kid, he's changing classes. If you want to go the free side of things, and so client events, like we always, those are 2 that are on the books no matter what. We still need to book our 2 for this year, but they will be 2 a year no matter what. We usually do like spring, summer, whatever you want to call it for San Diego, because it's always summer, and then like a November-ish, right? And then the also paid side is the birthday cards and then home anniversary cards, right? You already have their home anniversary if you've helped them. So that's easy. And you can look it up if you didn't, right? The other side is 76 touch. If I could have done anything differently, like, do you think I like going through my database right now? No. And cleaning it up? No. So if I was starting over differently, I would have everybody immediately, as soon as someone goes in my database, they go on, we have a 76 touch. So for example, the 4 emails per month in a 76 touch are HomeBot, which you can get for, negligible. If you don't use a lender, it's $50 a month. If you do, it's $25 a month. Neighborhood nurtures, which if you came for a nugget today, your nugget is everybody should be on 5 neighborhoods in command for neighborhood nurtures. Not 1, not the one they live in, 5. Because of our inventory here is, sorry, I was just looking at the comment. Our inventory here is, it's $900 an hour, by the way, but we only hire her for an hour and a half. So it's 5-minute time slots. So it's 12 different families going every hour, just to clarify why it's so expensive. And then she does the editing and everything afterwards. So in that MREA podcast I mentioned, you need to have everybody in your database on 5 neighborhoods for the neighborhood nurtures, because then you will always get the email once a month. Okay. If it's on North Park and there weren't any new, well, North Park will probably have them, but if it's on some like rant, because they don't do it just North Park in there. If you've noticed, it's like North Park or like Northeast North Park. It's like very granular neighborhoods within command. And so putting 5 in there pretty much guarantees that they will get an email. And who cares? Just click. They do suggested neighborhoods for you in the bottom underneath that map that shows up. Just click the first 4 since the one populates, right? Make sure you have 5 in there so that email will actually send. And then we have a preferred vendor list. Rip off and duplicate ours. If you don't have one, it's We post it in the Metro Facebook group in the files tab once a month. And then our fourth one is an events calendar, which ChatGPT or Gamma or Claude can do for you. Easy. Do I include a photo of their home? Yeah, that is the going forward plan, Lynn. But I did not listen to the podcast like for the last 8 years. So I didn't necessarily take a photo with everybody. If they didn't want it, I just didn't do it, right? But yes, that would be the goal. The way Floor does it is the first year, I think, is a mug. The second year is something else. There's like little gifts. But you would just do something as simple as a card, right? A card with their photo of their house on it. That's it. So yes, a photo of the house. If they're not like, if they're camera shy, just a photo of the house. Doesn't even have to have them in it, right? Just something to remind them that they've had that house for a year. Oh, and another text message we've been sending out, or we're about to send out, I should say, haven't been sending yet. We got the language from my coach is basically, you can have a VA do this, and a VA for very cheap can do those birthday cards and everything too, if you don't want to do the labor hours for it, right? If you're at the level where you want to start sending them. She will go, by the way, she'll say it in the podcast. She goes to people's houses for listing appointments. They have 7 of these cards on their mantle, the birthday cards, because it's a photo of themselves. If you send a photo of me, that's going in the trash. If that makes it to the fridge, I would be shocked, right? Like, thanks for everything. We're grateful for you, whatever. They don't care. They'll be like, oh, cute. Her kid's grown up. He's a year older and taller, whatever. And then it's like trash. But if it's of them and a photo they liked and they didn't happen to already print, that's a big deal, right? So, home anniversaries, the other texts that we are about to start doing that Danica's going to do, but again, a VA could do it if you're too busy and you don't have time to send it. Is basically like, hey, how do you feel about the value in HomeBot? And it's more eloquent than this. Just email me and I'll send you the actual verbiage. But it's basically saying like, would you like Emily to come over and do an actual CMA? And we don't say CMA because I don't know what that means, right? But we put it longer to make it more eloquent. And it's basically trying to set an appointment. It's getting Danica or a VA or whomever to try to set more appointments for me because I'm already doing, the 2 appointments a week if I can by myself. Then she answered your vendor thing. Yep. And that's how we force them to call us. That was a Jacqueline suggestion, I believe. We used to send out the entire vendor list. And then they would call if they said, like, who's your favorite plumber? If my name was next to 3 out of 10, right? But now they have to call. If they want a second plumber, they have to call for it, right? We put our top. And our top may change. If they disappointed a client, we probably do 25 categories at once. I don't remember. Danica can send you a copy of it. You can just rip off and duplicate. What else? Yes.
You said the biggest mover of what's changed for you is your mindset.
Yes.
For everyone's like last minute takeaway, what do you want them to hear is the difference maker that got you from where you have been to where you are right now?
So with that mindset shift, I started showing up to the office more. And that has, I will be mom of a 2-year-old. Obviously, the second business is now sold, but like just exhausted. And I have a really nice couch in here too. I've never laid on it. That's for child number 2, content, pregnancy naps, like that type of thing. But I will come in here and I will work. So if you are sitting at home, like I was for sure at like the middle and end of last year, and sleeping in because it was finally the baseball off season. For those of you that don't know, my husband works for Major League Baseball, so he travels with the team. So off season is his time to be primary parent, as we call it. So I could sleep in if I wanted to till 9. And that felt like a dream last year, right? But we were going through IVF. There's a lot of hormone things happening. So, but if I come here, I don't even literally have a very nice couch that I don't even sit on. So it's like I work. So if you can't get in the mindset, get in the office, because then it's not going to be it's a non-negotiable. Just get in the training room and start making calls, or get an accountability partner on Zoom and start making calls. I obviously now do both.
So get your mindset right and then take action, because those are the two things that have driven your business to exponential growth from where you've been consistently for the past few years to where you are and deserve to be based on all the hard work you put in. And you're such a giving human to always share what's working and the vendor list and all the tips and tricks. So thank you so much for showing up today with your big giant heart. And yes, there's a bunch of notes coming in. Like, you have an assistant. And that's what I want people to be like, well, Emily has a director of operations. I don't have that. Like, hear what Emily is talking about that she does in her business. She talks to her database. She took ownership over building it out and getting the details in, and she's taking action. And she felt like her head was not right, so she got her head right. And she's doing it through people and places. So put yourself in the room, talk to an accountability partner, ask me anything, you guys. I will help connect you and give you resources and tools. The rest of the leadership team is absolutely the same. We would love for everyone to be capping in 8 days. It is truly such a gift, and I'm so excited to see just how much amazing business you do, and to cheer you on at freaking deal number 51 is going to be the best ever. So, thanks so much for doing
I have a
it.
question. One
Oh,
question.
sorry.
If you fall off the wagon again, what do you want us to do?
Oh, I'm not falling off this wagon. Do you know how easy it is to be motivated when you make 100 grand in 3 weeks? It's not there's no falling
Well,
off this wagon.
you're gonna be pregnant again, and you're gonna push out another baby. So
That's
if
why I
that
have the
happens and you
couch.
fall off the wagon, what do you want us to do?
Just send me all, it's already coming to me from homes.com, but send me the Ocean Beach $2 to $3 million 4-bedroom, 2-bath houses with nice lots, and just be like, you won't be affording this anytime soon. You won't be able to afford this. That would be like pivotal. And to everybody, like, just to understand, I hired Danica in a moment of, my mom was dying of cancer. Okay. So she picked up a lot of slack. I had a brand new business back then, which was Salon Suites, for those of you who don't know, in La Jolla, which was she's probably so much lighter now that we don't have that business. A hectic nightmare for her that was supposed to be a year deal, and then we'd have a property manager, and we never did. So 7 years later, she's probably like, it's off her shoulders. But she pulled double duty for a while. So not diminishing her role in any way. She is freaking phenomenal. She used to work for me at a different company, and I poached her to come to real estate when my mom was dying. But just know that we're finally hitting our stride on the real estate side, right? So you can do all of what I said solo easily for now, right? And then you can make a shit ton of money in the next 6 months and hire your own Danica.
Since we already went over and I didn't ask you it, and I love to ask you it, is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked you today?
I don't think so, but just SOI, if you've got SOI, social media, no matter what you've got, right? If you didn't see the vision, or whatever it was called, not vision speech, if you didn't see Gary V's speech, whatever we're going to call it, presentation at family reunion, watch it somehow, figure it out and watch it. And then if you don't have, social media con, if you don't have a SOI, YouTube, which both of those can go hand in hand with social media, right? To be clear, my social media will be gravitating towards more so, because we need to ramp it up a little bit from like a clicks standpoint. It's beautiful. But we wanted to also bring in leads, right? And Danica has handled the beauty of it. We now need to kind of like do stuff on the back end to get leads. So to be clear, the social media will it'll have the YouTube videos in short form, like it'll be cut down, but my YouTube will speak to that avatar. First time home sellers, let's say, right? My social media on a regular basis is speaking to the people that know, like, and trust me already. I'm not trying to alienate them by putting the YouTube on the social media. What's the reason for the YouTube push over the social media? Because the videos are evergreen, meaning they don't go away. And so people will find you, and it still is social media, yes, like Sara said, but people will find you on YouTube from a video you made 2 years ago, and then they'll start watching everything you've made, right? And your stories only last 24 hours on Instagram, for example, right? And they're long form on YouTube versus social media. So you're educating more. People are finding you on Instagram and Facebook. They're looking for you. On YouTube, they're looking for first-time home seller in San Diego County, right? And I have nothing to do with it. I'm just the face that's educating. And
I also
yes,
think it's the number 2 search engine to Google or number, it's like right up there in the top.
it's
There's so
two. It's number two.
much
It's
goodness to come in.
Google and then YouTube. Yes.
Yes. So get out there, but first and foremost, talk to your people. Go have conversations, get your head on straight. Emily Holmes, thank you for being a hero and a rock star. I adore you. Everyone can do what Emily is doing. I'm not going to sing a song that just popped into my head. I will save you all the pain. Make it a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys.